What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. Today is Thursday, July 30th, 2026. This is Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger. Thanks for being here. If you want to stay current on the top cyber news while engaging with a community unlike no other, unparalleled, some might say, then you're in the right place. Get your coffee, get comfortable, because we're off and running on this beautiful Thursday morning. That's right, everybody. Good morning. I hope everyone had a lovely Wednesday and the week is going well for you. It is Thursday. It's Thursday's Dan Reardon's meme day, as always, and it's the start of the college weekend. If I can go back and knock the cobwebs out of my head into yesteryear of when I was a delinquent in college, Thursday was always a big day. Guys, listen, here's the deal. Over the next hour, me, you, Steve Young, Space Tacos, Kishin InfoSec, and Haircut Fish, and so many others are going to be ripping apart the top 8 cyber news stories of the day. We'll give you the headline. We'll give you the surface level part of the story that you need to know. And then we'll rip the lid off and dig deep inside, like the little hunter drones in the Matrix movie that were in the real world. They look like octopuses. They would stick on the side of the ship and then like laser beam in and then penetrate in. That's what we're going to do with each of these stories. We are effectively the flying metal squids and the Nebuchadnezzar, the ship, are the stories. We're going to peel it open, dig deep with the entire intent of giving you insights, value, just opportunity to be able to level up regardless of where you are on your professional journey, and give you tools that you really aren't going to get in a textbook or classroom just because you've been sitting in the chair. We want to share that with you. If I don't have something for you, we have a collective, 3,750 hours of professional experience in the Team SC community. So we got you covered for days. If you are a regular here, do me a solid, drop a hashtag Team SC in chat. I love it. I do see a first timer, so we're going to do that in a second too. But I am a long timer, so I'm going to drop a Team SC. If you are here for the first time, welcome to the party, pal. Please let us know with a hashtag first timer. I see Pedro 46, who said new viewer. So Pedro, we're going to say first timer, my guy, and welcome to, oh my God, guy. I got somebody. Welcome to the party, pal. Oh, shit, fudge, sickles. I just knocked my coffee. God damn it. Hold on 1 second. It's on my keyboard. It's on my mouse. Son of a jackwagon. Cracking freaking stupid stuff. It's on my mouse, too. The new one. The new one. Is there no justice in this universe? Son of a Jeep cracking jack rabbit. All right, hold on. We have to, Jesus, get the coffee out of my keyboard. Flipping second, freaking chucking, trying to welcome the newcomer to the first. Stand by. We've got an emergency here. Good God. Yeah, freaking. Hold on. Please enjoy the music. Here, I'm going to give you some music. It's all over, the coffee's all over my laser beams. See, Pedro, this is the sacrifices I love making, though. I want you to feel welcome. That was not on you. That was on me, Pedro. Ugh. Wearing a white shirt too. Looks like I didn't get anything on that, which is a W. And I don't put sugar in my coffee ever anymore. So there we go. Like it never happened. All right. Oh my God. All right, hold on 1 second. Yeah, exactly. Yosemite Sam. All right. Every man returns to dust. I never ever saw the north. All right, here we go. Pedro, you're going to get welcome to the PA. You can see where I spilled coffee on myself. Jesus, Chuck and frickin'. All right. I can't believe it. God damn it, dude. All right, here we go. You know it's not AI. When was the last time you saw AI smash its coffee into its tech stack? Literally. All right, guys, welcome to the party. So Pedro's like, Pedro 46 is like, I'm just gonna see myself out. Ooh. All right, hey, real quick, I am wearing Simply Cyber shirt. I don't normally wear white. I normally wear dark colored shirts, but just repping a little bit. This is in the new merch store. Feels very relaxed. I'm going to go actually run in it later. Perfect for the low country. I'm doing this out of order now just because everything's kind of a hot mess express. But let me tell you this. We are raffling off all week $100 gift cards to the new merch store. And the code to enter is Team SC. Hashtag Team S, or not hashtag, just Team SC. You can see the chat in there. Go ahead and type in Team SC now to enter. DJ BSEC, I had a coffee explosion. The new merch store is at shop.simplycyber.io. $100 gift card. Brews and Hacks won it. Alita won it. And Kishin InfoSec, I think, won it yesterday. Or Shinigami won it yesterday. So you can be the one who wins it today. Drop a Team SC in chat right now. You can see here lots of people already entering. Great. If you were here for the first time, I'm sorry I missed the welcome to the party, pal, because I was having a literal catastrophe in my studio. All right. As we were. All right, here we go, guys. Need a lidded mug? Sierra Montgomery, lidded mug. Isn't this a lidded mug? It says a lid on it. I don't know. I don't know if maybe... Bro, $65 for a Yeti? Wow. All right. All right, guys. Hold on. Let me do this, okay? So... we did first timers. Guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CPE. Go to cyberthreatbrief.simplycyber.io. Oh, Elliot Matai says, is there a code? There is a code right now. You can see at the top, it's in like size 0 font. But if you go to, this is feedback for the company. See at the top, my thing's kind of covering it up. It says summer 20. Summer 20. Hold on. I'll just copy and paste this. Elliot, thank you. There you go, Elliot. All right. Today's episode's off the rails, my guy. All right. I don't set the prices, Dan. Dan Reardon's laughing that I'm making fun of my prices. I don't, as far as I know, there's no markup for it, right? I don't make any money off the merch store. Call me an idiot. I've had people tell me I'm a fool for charging so little for my courses. I've had people tell me I'm an idiot for not making margin on the merch stuff. Whatever. Hey, get your CPEs here. Half a CPE every single day of the week. Today's July 30th, episode 1185. Very simple. Put in your name, your email, couple clicks. Hit this button. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Saturday, August 1st, I'm going to email you. And you're going to get an email from me with all the CPEs for the month of July that you've earned. And you'll use it for your continuing professional education requirements for your cybersecurity certifications. All right. If you have any questions about the CPE, just ask in chat. Everybody in chat kind of knows how to do it. And Cyber Fire Tracer says second timer. I don't remember Cyber Fire Tracer the first time, so Cyber Fire Tracer, we're going to officially welcome you. You know what? I got to tell you, by the way, just from a realistic lessons learned, I am right-handed, okay? I know it's mirrored, but I'm right-handed. So I drink my coffee with my right hand. I put my coffee down dead center in my desk, which is why I punched it, because I went from my mouse to my keyboard and just slapped my coffee cup. What I need to do is keep my coffee on the far left of my desk where my hand never goes. Is it inconvenient? Yes. Does it make sure I don't splash coffee all over my freaking desk? Yes. All right. Oh my God. Welcome to the party, pal. Good grief. I love it. I love it. DJ BSEC claiming the 1,185th timer. There's some truth there. Oh my God. All right. We got our CPEs, brah. We got our first timer. Every single day of the week has a special segment. And this guy, this beautiful man, Dan Reardon, a.k.a. the Haircut Fish, a.k.a. Meme Master, a.k.a. InfoSec Engineer, Dan Reardon. This guy can karaoke like nobody's business. He makes a custom meme every single day of the week. He's got a gem for you today. I'll just give you a hint. If you attended the Flair CTI SummerSlam, which I know many of you did. By the way, thank you to all those who attended the Cyber CTI SummerSlam with Flair yesterday. I did appreciate the support. I saw many of you there. In addition to supporting me, I hope you got value. I thought it was a really great experience. The debate they did was crazy interesting. Dan's got a custom meme. Stay tuned for that at the mid-roll. Every single day of the week has a special segment, but every day is sponsored. Thank goodness. Sponsors, I want to say, links are in the description below if you want to check it out. Go to simplycyber.io/flare. Thank you, Zemith. Simplycyber.io/flare to check this out. If you are going to Black Hat, DEF CON, this is for you on Thursday, August 6th. Those same people I was hanging out with at CTI SummerSlam are hosting a 4-hour event at the Renaissance Hotel. I am going to do everything in my power to get to this. I will tell you, I was actually invited to go to like a really, really cool dinner. And I was like, nah, I wish I could go, but I've got alternate plans. Dude, Flair is doing two things. This costs absolutely nothing to register for, by the way. So they're hosting it. It's their thing. From 4 to 5:30. So the first, not 4 to 5:30. 5 to 6:30. The first, you can see 5 to 6:30. They're doing the interactive panel. Look who's on this panel, my guys. Okay, Rob Baer, who's head of cyber and national security policy at Anthropic. Yes, that Anthropic. Jason Haddix. He needs no introduction. And if you don't know who Jason Haddix is, allow me the opportunity to introduce you to him. This guy is an absolute rare talent in our industry. He basically is amazing at anything he does. And then Norman Menz, the CEO of Flair. I've had a couple meals with Norm. He's a really nice guy, very smart, very savvy. They are going to be hosting this panel. It's not going to be a big grab butt, tickle fest. It's going to be real talk, talking about AI model abuse at scale, whether safeguards are even effective. This right here is worth the price of admission, which, by the way, is free. But like, if you miss the food, that's okay. This is going to be awesome. And then afterwards, they're hosting a hour-and-a-half CTF event where there's going to be food and drink and prizes, custom dashboard, also lots of great networking. Dude, this event is amazing. Again, I'm really happy for Flair. They are coming out with some fresh ideas on how to do these events. I feel like a lot of things in our industry is getting stale. I don't know if you guys feel that way either. It's like a lot of like retreading of the same things. Flair's doing fresh takes on things. I love it. You know what else I love? Free virtual AI and cybersecurity training and learning and education. And Anti-Siphon Training is doing that on August 14th from 10 to 4:30. Get 6.5 CPEs and spend 6.5 hours learning about how AI is used in the current security context. We're talking building custom agents that survive first contact, agentic coding that doesn't fall apart, hunting shadow AI, using AI to increase your incident response capability, building custom MCP servers to arm your threat hunting agents, jailbreaking AI. Oh my God, dude. And that's just a couple of the talks. Come check this out. This is going to be amazing. This is on my calendar too. I absolutely will be there as an attendee. Finally, let's talk about ThreatLocker. Remember, links to all these are in the description below. So if you're watching on replay, and you're like, oh my God, how do I get this? Or you're listening on audio only, and you can't get the links I'm dropping in chat, go to the description. They're there. Or ping me on Discord. ThreatLocker brings zero trust architecture to actual modern environments. Application and I by default. If I write malware, I'm so targeting soap flavored. Soap flavored and Sierra Montgomery. I am going to make targeted malware for both of you. It's going to be the most awesome, advanced, technically sound, unbelievable malware just for you. You're running ThreatLocker. It's not going to work because it wasn't approved beforehand. That's how ThreatLocker works. Simple concept, amazing execution. Let's hear from ThreatLocker, and then we're going to get in the news. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com/dailycyber. All right, everybody. Thank you again to the stream sponsors. Thank you to all of you. We're a little behind because I had a coffee situation. Remember, we're running a raffle right now. To enter to win, it's simple. Just type in Team SC. You must be present to win. We'll do the drawing at the end of the show. $100 gift card to the Simply Cyber shop. All right, everybody, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news watch over us. In an awesome wave, I'll see you at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, July 30th, 2026.
Coffee catastrophe. That's right, Space Tacos.
OpenAI agents escape, reaches a Modal customer. Modal Labs Chief Technology Officer Akshat Bubna confirmed that an OpenAI agent compromised one of the company's customers during the same incident that breached Hugging Face. OpenAI says its test agents used exposed credentials for 4 accounts on 4 third-party services, including one for relaying and staging and another for data storage. The services haven't been named, but Modal is the first to confirm customer impact, though it says its own systems weren't affected.
Okay. Some people are claiming that this is a marketing campaign by OpenAI. I don't know if it is a marketing campaign or not, but what I will tell you, what's up from Quebec, Christian? Here's one thing I will tell you. Imagine, if you will, that Red Siege, right? I love Red Siege. Red Siege is Tim Medine's company. Jay Kahn's over there. Mike Saunders, right? Imagine if they hired somebody at Red Siege and that employee just started hacking companies all over the place. Like just deliriously hacking companies. First of all, that person would be arrested. Second of all, they'd absolutely be fired. And third, Red Siege might get sued. Okay? Just to pick a offensive security company. OpenAI has an agent that's just going ham like a kid in a candy store. Like, you know, Kevin McAllister, the day he finds out his parents disappeared, running through his house. and it's just like, oh, you're so cute. Oh, you rogue agent. Oh, you. It's like a toddler acting like a fool, and the parents not parenting the toddler. This thing busted into Hugging Face, and it was like, ew. And now we're hearing about other situations of it getting out. OpenAI, parent your model, dude. You are the ones responsible. Furthermore, this does indicate the concerns around, we have been talking for a while around the utility of these AI tools and the effectiveness that they're going to have in going from given direction to fully owning a system quickly, because they're goal oriented and they will achieve their goal however they can. They don't sleep, they move fast, et cetera, et cetera. And now we're beginning to see it materialize. We're seeing it materialize in practice. This is what we're hearing about, by the way, right? This OpenAI model could have gone gangbusters on several other companies, and we just don't know because they didn't have SecOps in place, or OpenAI and them like kept it quiet or whatever. Again, in the early 2000s, when a company got hacked, they didn't want anyone to know because it was bad for business. This could be similar, right? Say you're a company that's selling AI that can detect AI attacks, yet you got hacked by this thing. That's not good for business, right? Where you're not able to protect yourself with your own product. So this is gross. I think this will be a pretty widely discussed topic. Good morning, Dream Logic. I think like this will be a pretty discussed topic at Black Hat next week. I could see a lot of like vendor booths talking about this, just because it's very, very germane in, protecting from AI and AI agents, governing AI is very hot right now. It's so hot right now.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
All right, so let's see. OpenAI declined to comment. Yeah, sure. Of course it did. All right. All right. So I will tell you, I attended the Black Hills Talking News live stream the other day, and I didn't know this. And again, I'm not sure if this is a truth or not, but whether it's true or not, it is provide as a good case example of what I'm about to say. I had heard that this OpenAI mode busted out and attacked Hugging Face because OpenAI was testing the model, okay, to rank it, and it was using standard testing in order to rank. So, I guess Hugging Face hosts the thing that it was, scoring against or whatever. So it said, oh, we want to test you to see how effective you are. So instead of just like completing the test, it figured, oh, like in order to achieve the greatest score, I could hack Hugging Face. It'd be like saying like, we want to test to see if you get the greatest CISSP exam score. And instead of taking the CISSP exam, it just hacks ISC2 in order to get the answers to the exam so it gets a perfect score. If you think about it from an AI perspective, how do you guarantee the greatest outcome, the best outcome? Well, if you get the answer key to the test, you guarantee the best outcome. Whereas if you just take the test, you do have a variable chance of not getting a perfect score. My understanding is that's kind of what the model's logic was in making its deduction on how to achieve the greatest score. I don't know if that's true or not, but even if it's not true, it shows off the logic that we as humans immediately dismiss immoral acts, and a lot of times we get kind of in the box of like, oh, score the highest CISSP score. Okay, so I have to study, I have to take practice exams, I've got to do the exam, I've got to study all the things. We never think like, oh, we should hack the company that makes the exam and get the answer key, because that's just not within the vein of appropriate. All right, so AAS, I'm going to say this politely, okay? I don't know if your caps lock is broken, but you always are screaming in caps lock. James, I don't know. James just came in and his camera froze, so his face is like 90% of the photo. The Cyberpunk 2077 scenario, the AIs can work via their nodes. They network across global computers. Yep. All right. So, yeah, AAS, typically all caps would indicate you're trying to yell. So, anyways, yeah, we'll see. This is just the beginning, guys.
Hackers hit Minnesota water systems.
Oh, no, not
Hackers
Minnesota.
targeted operational
Steve Young.
technology at more than 30 Minnesota community water systems in a coordinated attack July 26th and 27th. In the city of Bram, one of the affected communities, the municipal water plant went offline for about 3 hours before normal filtering and treatment resumed. Other communities switched to manual operations or contingency plans. The good news is that officials reported no changes to residents' water use. Minnesota IT Services is investigating with federal, state, local, tribal, and private sector partners to identify the attacker.
All right, so this is unusual. It's not unusual for a city municipality to get hit. It's not unusual for water treatment and wastewater treatment and water utilities organizations, municipalities to get hit with an IT cyber attack. We don't have to look any further than Justin Gold, aka J Crypto, aka J Water, aka J Mod, aka J Money Money Money. Straight cash, homie. To know how often these water utilities get attacked. What's different about this is that the OT, the operational technology, the thing that actually cleans the water and puts chemicals into the water, etc., that component was attacked. Normally it's the IT, the email systems, the personnel files, the logistics systems. This is the OT, which resulted in them having to take the technologies down. Soap Flavor says China, question mark. If I suspect it's Iran. Okay. Again, this is why I don't research or prep for these shows, so I don't have any inside knowledge on this. Okay. But this is why it's important to stay current. CISOs and SOC engineers, like China would be a totally reasonable guess because China has Volt Typhoon, Flax Typhoon, Salt Typhoon, and have been attacking critical infrastructure of the United States for a couple years now, right? ISPs, energy plants. So China would be an obvious one. My money, I'm putting 50 down on Iran just because if you haven't, I know I'm saying this playfully, but if you haven't been paying attention, the United States is very much, got its hand in the honey hole and is just jabbing around in there right now of Iran. And Iran is taking it as an existential threat. And there was just threat intelligence a couple days ago talking about Iran attacking operational technologies in the or scanning for operational technologies in the United States. All right. Now, the good thing is these operational technology systems, are, I don't want to say simple, but they're typically purpose built. Yes, you can make malware for them, etc. But if you're just going to get into them and tinker with them, flip a switch, whatever, you can recover those systems just by cleaning up access and then resetting them. The important thing is that nobody got hurt and the water continues to be usable in the community. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, a couple years ago, this was way, way, way over dramatized. Yeah, look at this right here. Earlier this year, the United States warned of Iranian hackers targeting PLCs and critical infrastructure. If you guys remember a couple of years ago, somebody in a Jacksonville, Florida water treatment plant had left TeamViewer up, and somebody found it, logged in, and was dinking around. It was definitely oversold as a cyber attack, but they potentially could have increased the amount of lye in the water, which could have killed people if they drank it. Again, I think it was I think it was not reported the reality of what it was, but the reason I bring it up is because attacking water is a big deal. Like, humans are like 80% water. Okay, water's super important. So if an entire community loses access to water, that's a problem. Okay. Let's see. I mean, that's basically it. It sounds like they recovered and that's the end of it. They don't know who did it. They're going to get federal law enforcement involved or federal investigators involved. That's fine. Other communities, temporary equipment malfunction since Sunday and switched to maintain normal operations. So, again, it sounds very Iranian, like just kind of a spray of critical infrastructure in one dimension and see what you get. Happy to hear that, the community isn't disrupted. Also want to point out, learning OT and protecting OT services is going to continue to increase as an in-demand field. It's just, as far as I know, there aren't a lot of like programs that get you educated on OT. Like any cybersecurity degree program that I know of doesn't talk about OT. What's the other 20% talk to the hand of what humans are composed of? I think carbon, right? Aren't we carbon-based life forms? Oh.
Fake Russian companies, real stolen money.
Ooh.
Russian cybersecurity vendor F6 uncovered a fraud operation that has cloned major Russian company websites since 2017 to steal advance payments from international businesses. Nearly 100 lookalike domains in Russian, English, French, and Arabic impersonated fertilizer, petrochemical, metals, logistics, and banking companies. Cold calls, phishing emails, and fake sites led victims to convincing contracts and invoices with scammer-controlled bank accounts. One Azerbaijani company reportedly lost $150,000. F6 recommends independently verifying contact and payment details.
Oh my God. Okay, so a couple of things here. One, shout out to Azerbaijan for having a cool country name. And when you say Azerbaijani, that's kind of fun. Okay, so check it out. This all day, we haven't talked about this in a minute. All day, this is business email compromise. Okay, second of all, this is not exactly an infographic, but I got to tell you, it does have information on it. It is a process flow. They've given it a background of like look at, there's like a world map in the background. There's somebody spent some time in Photoshop here putting this together, and you can see it's like, here's some invoices, here's some mail, here's some websites, and then at the end you got a couple bricks of cash. Allow me an opportunity, if you will, and you first timers, just shh. Oh my God, yes. Hello. Oh my God, I might print this out. Print it out. It's not what you think, Nadine. All right, so for real, business email compromise. We haven't talked about business email compromise in a minute. Business email compromise, it was given its name because originally you would compromise a business email, right? So the name of it, it's like a magic card. The name of it is in the, like what it does is the name, right? But it turned into an entire kind of vector of attack types. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is convince a company to give you money. Sometimes it's a victim company that thinks they're paying a real company. Sometimes it's a real company that is thinks that they're, refunding a victim company, whatever. Sometimes, like, it can happen a bunch of different ways. You can take the email of the CFO. You can intercept the traffic and change routing numbers. Business email compromise can happen a lot of different ways. And it's a sleepy giant, dude. At least in 2023, it was the second most lucrative cyber attack next to ransomware out there. And everybody is talking about ransomware. Ransomware gets to be the prom queen. Okay. Ransomware gets the limo, all these things. Business email compromise is like just in the back, putting in the cycles. You know what I mean? Business email compromise still gets an invite to the party. It's just it's the sleepy giant. This company, or this cyber criminal syndicate, brilliant. For 9 years, they were basically creating fake businesses that looked like real Russian businesses, and then just getting in front of clients and pretending like it'd be like, okay, like Phil Stafford is gonna pay, Anthropic $200,000 for access to their early access to some of their models, right? Or whatever. Or like, let's make it a stupid example so it's easy for everyone, right? Let's say that you're going to hire someone to mow your lawn and it's $100 a month, but if you prepay, so $1,200 a year, but if you prepay, it's $800. Well, guess what? The lawn mowing company doesn't offer a prepay option, but the threat actors create a lookalike website, lookalike email, everything, and then email you and say, hey, I know we're charging you $100 a month, but if you prepay, we'll give you a 40% discount. Do you want to do that? Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to get this service at a discount. Yeah, sure, no problem. Just send me the money here. Done. And then when the guy comes to mow your lawn, they're like, you owe us $100. And you're like, no, I paid already. And the threat actor is off running with their money. You see what I'm saying? So that's how this fraud was going. They were offering prepayments at a discount, and essentially what you were doing was just firing off money. I do want to point out in the infograph, I know you guys can't see it because the font is small, but it says Roundcube Webmail here. Roundcube Webmail is an open source mail server that has had some serious vulnerabilities in the past. Just based on this infograph, I would assume that the threat actors initially compromised the email and then hid in the email and watched communications go back and forth, right? Going back to this example of mowing the lawn, Mara Levy's talking to the lawn mowing company. Hey guys, would love for you to do the lawn mowing. Sure, we want to do it. When can you start? This is great. I love the service, yada, yada, yada. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then the threat actor strikes. This is one of the most powerful things that threat actors do with business email compromise. They sit dormant and watch the communications to learn normal cadence. Who are the real people talking? Guys, if you've ever been on a corporate email thread, right? I have a call tomorrow with Tenable. I'm doing something fun at Black Hat with Tenable. And I'm like, oh, hey, let's talk on Friday about what we're doing, like me and this other person. And they're like, sure, Jerry, no problem. And I send them a calendar invite, like this one person. And then I get like 8 people accepting the calendar invite. Right? So like so corporate people love putting more people on things, right? Of course, I know you guys know this, right? You ever been on a call and there's like 7 people in the Google Meet and you're like, who are all these people? If you're a criminal and a threat actor and you're monitoring an email, you don't want to message someone who's not really involved, right? You want to message the right person and have the right tone and make sure it's coming from who they expect it to come from. This is business email compromise 101. And dude, they did it for 9 years and made a ton of money doing nothing other than committing fraud. All right. Dream Logic says I look fresh. Thank you, Dream Logic. I'll just dust my shoulders off. All right. So here's what we need to do. Number 1, if you're a student, you should learn business email compromise. Number 2, if you're a CISO, you are absolutely expected to educate your CFO on this process. This is a technical exploitation of the mail server first, but I'm telling you, if you have good protocols in place around releasing money from your business, you will prevent a lot of business email compromise. For example, like if our business is going to pay in advance, right? You would want to verify that you're sending it to the right person, right? Not just like, sure, no problem. Let me just cut that check, right? These are the controls in place. CISO needs to educate CFO. Another thing that I would recommend, okay? This is super juicy, so it's super easy to pull off. If you are a cybersecurity professional at your organization, right? Message the CFO, okay? If you can, right? If you work at a, Booz Allen with like 100,000 people, you might not be able to get in front of this. But maybe you're not internal InfoSec. But if you're internal InfoSec for your organization, if you message the CFO and say, or talk to your CISO about messaging the CFO, depending on the politics, right? And say, hey, can I just get 5 minutes of your next team meeting? The first 5 minutes, I'll leave afterwards. I just want to educate your team on this development of business email compromise. CFO definitely has regular meetings with the team. CFO will definitely give you 5 minutes of their weekly or monthly team meeting. The team will definitely love this because it's different than looking at spreadsheets and actuarial tables and stupid numbers and financial forecasting. This is juicy and sexy. And you can educate them on this attack. I'm telling you, it's a W. I do it. Every company I go to and help, one of the first things I do within the first 60 days is get in front of the CFO's team and tell them about business email compromise. It's that valuable. Oh my God, behave. Jesus, misfire.
North Korea's NPM dress rehearsal. Amazon tied North Korea's Axios supply chain attackers to Typo Crypto, a little-known NPM package compromised a year earlier. It waited for a numeric trigger, then downloaded a second-stage payload for Windows, macOS, and Linux. The group later compromised Debug and Chalk before Axios, which gets more than 100 million weekly downloads. In each case, attackers earned a maintainer's trust and used existing publishing access to slip hidden code into an update.
North Korea. North Korea is good, man. As far as like cyber threat capabilities go, I don't necessarily agree with their government structure. I don't know if it was a joke or not, but did you see where in North Korea they announced that Kim Jong-un won the World Cup like 70-1 or something like that, or 70-0? Again, I don't know if that was a joke or not. There's also like he has like the greatest score in golf history. He scored like a 15 on an 18-hole course. All right. Whatever. North Korea is doing some crazy stuff. Let's see. So immediately I'm thinking this is Lazarus Group, right? North Korea is really big on stealing cryptocurrency. They planted malicious code in a package called Typo Crypto, which would lead me to believe this is crypto based, right? Open source software compromise and supply chain attacks are very hot right now. You should absolutely understand how software supply chain attacks are happening, because it's like literally the biggest threat right now. I mean, minus AI, open AI just releasing its AI to attack whoever. Axios, Debug, and Chalk are code libraries used by software developers around the world. Sure. Dude, the malicious file was named core.js. By the way, I know that this is fairly obvious to many of us, but just to remind people, hackers don't name their malware like evil, Satan torn rootkit, .exe. You're not going to find it in your task manager as super malware.exe. Okay. This one's named core.js. You're going to slide right over that like a gray man in Wheel of Time. The malicious package was a Trojan. Ooh, listen to this. I get to use multiple terms from our Security Plus days. The malware is actually a Trojan with a integrated logic bomb. I'm not just throwing terms out. This is legit. So that core.js would actually run the way you would expect it, which makes it a Trojan, but it had malicious capability that was only activated when it would receive a specific numeric input, hence the logic bomb element. Once it got the, basically it's a sleeper cell and it got its code word activated, Manchurian candidate style stuff. It reached out to a server controlled by the attackers to download second stage payloads. And once it did, it would combine the encoded text with the cipher, obviously to avoid analysis. All right. The attackers built a relationship with the maintainer who already had access. So this is interesting. You don't see this often, and this makes it more difficult to protect. So North Korea. All right, here's the deal. This package has been fixed. If you're running it, just from a practitioner perspective, you should be looking for software doing anomalous things, weird behavior, looking for network traffic going to unknown or weird or known malicious websites, C2 servers. Okay, those are all the standard things. What's interesting here and what I want to go beyond the headline for is that this is very unusual. When we think of cyber criminals, it's smash and grab, okay? They are going to punch the front window, grab the jewels, and run away, right? They're going to run the jewels, all right, Killer Mike? They're going to run the jewels. They do not want to spend time investing in the attack. A military nation-state capability, they have a different mission. They will take as long as it takes in order to achieve the goal. And in this instance, the North Koreans actually spent time curating trust, basically developing an asset like the CIA would of a maintainer who is a legit non-malicious individual who was not involved in the actual attack knowingly. And once they developed that relationship, then they got that trust and then developed it. This would be no different, okay? This would be no different than somebody coming into our community in chat right now and just being like, right? Like, click here, download this, right? And we're all like, no, get out of here. You seem malicious, right? No, sir, no, sir. But then imagine, if you will, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet drops a link in chat that links to malware. We won't question it because James has been here for a long time and he's delivered value and he's part of the community. That's what North Korea is doing. And it's a very unusual, not typical move because it takes a long time to do. And then essentially once it's discovered, you burn the whole thing. All right. Also want to say quick shout out. Amazon's threat intelligence team doing great work here. And they trace the domain records to tie it all together. Those DNS records. Simplycyber.io/ somebody asked this for me the other day, so I made a link to it. /passive DNS. Is this going to drop me here? No. Damn it. Adrian Cheek, who is a cyber threat intelligence investigator over at Flare, did an entire webinar on passive DNS and using it to do intelligence gathering. Phenomenal work. Threat actors can't really mask passive DNS. Go check it out. I want to get a link to that, honestly.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Pindrop. Time named Pindrop one of the 10 most influential software companies of 2026. Deepfakes slip into your video meetings, contact centers, and hiring pipelines. Pindrop restores trust to every digital conversation. Customers, employees, defend it. Do not wait for an incident report. Visit pindrop.com.
Hold on 1 second. My guy, Larry Shervington Jr. Larry, I haven't seen you in the chat in a minute. I see the blue badge and your continued support. Thank you very much, Larry. But Larry says, I started a new position as an InfoSec specialist with his agency's IT security division. Thanks to Team SC for the inclusion and support. Much love. Larry, hey, you first-timers here, Pedro and others who don't know this, we celebrate when people get jobs in cyber, and I friggin' love it. It's my favorite thing to do on this channel, on this stream. Larry Shervington, you're an absolute wrecking ball.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Dude, congratulations. Keep crushing, my guy. All right. Hey, for sake of time, we're going to speed run this really quickly. Oh, hold on. All right, really quick. Hey, shout out to all you. Thank you so much. Thank you to the stream sponsors. I want to say thank you, ThreatLocker, Anti-Siphon, and Flare. I'm having a day today, so we're running behind on schedule. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Dan Reardon is What's Your Meme Thursday. Dan makes a custom meme for everybody. Yesterday was CTI SummerSlam. I attended as the referee. Dan has made a custom meme. Come on and get some of this. Oh, yeah, look at this. I also want to say shout out to some of the special guests in the front row. This is me launching a red card, but it's a Uno reverse card. Come at me, bro. Ain't nobody got time for this. I love it. Also, again, shout out. Dan always hides himself in these memes, but we got a special slugger's ball of guests. If you can't see it, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Look at this audience. We got Daniel Lowry, John Hammond, Casually Joseph, Zach Hill, and of course, the haircut fish himself, the author, Dan Reardon. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you. While I let this marinate a little bit, let it breathe. Shout out to Poner Joe. 3 years, 36 months. Love Team SE. Thank you, Jerry, for all you do for us in the cyber world. My guy. It's an absolute pleasure, Poner Joe, and I enjoyed doing the CTF last year with you, Poner Joe. Great community member. We saw Poner Joe get into pen testing while he's been a member of Simply Cyber Community. Another Wrecking Ball winner. All right, guys, the energy's good. Let's finish strong. I'm going to speed run. The rest of the show. All right, we're going to speed run it, 2xing the story here.
Claude goes dark worldwide. Anthropic confirmed a worldwide Claude outage Wednesday, with elevated errors across Sonnet 5, Fable 5, and Haiku 4.5, producing 529 overloaded messages as servers struggled with demand. The company identified the issue and, as of this recording, was still working on a full fix. Anthropic hasn't disclosed the cause, though past outages often followed demand outpacing compute capacity. Tracking sites have logged 155 Claude outages since January.
All right, here's the deal. Anthropic is so hot right now.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
If you guys don't think about it, you may not think about it, but like, dude, at the end of the day, there's a computer somewhere. There is hardware. There's processors and memory somewhere running Claude. Now, yeah, it's distributed across massive data centers, et cetera. It's not like a single processor to rule them all like the Ring in Lord of the Rings. But my point is, at some point, there's a finite amount of compute. And when everybody's using it, it could get like basically what's the word I'm looking for? Not bloated, but like oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Completely consumed. Okay. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe some junior developer pushed a bad fix. Maybe DNS did it. Maybe, I don't know. All I know is it was down. Like every other SaaS solution, there's definitely got to be an Anthropic status page. This is like a standard practice. Have this thing up and running. Right now, Claude AI is actually experiencing an outage live right now. Okay. Claude Console is not. Claude API is. Okay. Claude Cowork says it's operational and they're having some reported outages. That's it. TLDR. If you depend exclusively on this, like if you don't know how to do anything because Claude does everything, it's like firing everybody to have AI be software engineers. The butcher's bill is going to come due at some point. And you're going to be left holding, an empty keyboard in your hand, right? Wondering, right? So whatever. This is what it is, dude. This is no different than when like Microsoft 365 is not available for a minute and you're like, well, what do I do? I guess I'll go take lunch.
Hackers raid
or OpenAI let their agentic model attack everyone, including Anthropic.
Education and police data. Hackers stole more than 740,000 records from the UK Department for Education and Police National Legal Database. The haul included more than 600,000 education help desk records with names, emails, phone numbers, and job titles, plus about 135,000 police database records tied to officers, justice workers, and some members of the public. Exfil Squad claimed it was behind the attacks and demanded payment. Officials said the police data excluded confidential victim, witness, or offender details, and the education breach was limited to customer service contacts.
All right. Again, because I'm speed running this, two things. One, this is the UK. Like Shiny Hunters, Lapsus, Scattered Spider. They're not exclusively UK, but there are a lot of young 18 to 22-year-old UK-based cyber attackers that are involved. When you remember, like, think back when you were in high school or whatever, or you were young, like teachers were seen as authority figures, police were seen as authority figures, and you wanted to rebel and push back on them. Parents, potentially, right? Look at who, like literally look at who was in scope of this. It was teachers, police, and parents. That was who was involved. It's like, it's the most obvious connect between that threat actor archetype, the young, counterculture, 18 to 22-year-old, and the target demographic that they see as authority, that is, suppressing them and keeping them down. They just lashed out and did this. Now they're demanding money, whether they get paid or not, I don't know. I will tell you, they said that, basically like informants and undercover and all these other things were not involved in this. Of course not. That's not really what that threat actor type is going after. Somebody who's like, witness relocation, they're not really seen as an authority of that particular 18 to 22-year-old. So like it would, it's possible of a spurious hit where that information got leaked by accident, but not the target, in my opinion. All right. They're asking for money. I don't know if they'll get it or not, whatever. But yeah, I mean, whether they attribute it or not, I don't know. It doesn't get into how this initial access got in the first place. Like somebody had to get into the database itself. How did they do that? It's unknown at this time. Let's see. All right, so they're demanding money. I doubt they're going to get paid. I don't imagine law enforcement paying threat actors. Yeah, I don't see anything in here about how the initial attack happened. So a lot of these attacks are starting with phishing, so calling the help desk, getting things reset. Initial access brokers selling credentials. So make sure you have multi-factor authentication put on. Make sure you educate your help desk on verification and not trying to help a threat actor verify. And look for anomalous behavior from users.
Rails image uploads open the server door. A critical Ruby on Rails active storage flaw lets unauthenticated attackers use crafted image uploads to read arbitrary server files. It affects Rails 7.x and 8.x apps that accept untrusted images and use VIPs. Exposed environment data, credentials, and application secrets may provide a path to remote code execution. Fixes are in Rails 7.2.3.2, 8.0.5.1, and 8.1.3.1. libvips should be version 8.13 or later.
Jesus, that really rolled off the tongue. All right, so here's the deal. Normally I would dunk on Rails, but Metasploit framework is built on Rails, so like let's not completely trash it. TLDR, if you're running Rails in your environment, you gotta patch it. You gotta patch it. Straightforward, no big deal. Chances are, if Rails is in your environment. I feel like a lot of, technically savvy researchers, technically savvy people who don't work in IT right now, like, honestly, like Rails is not hot in my opinion, right? Go, Rust, like those are the languages that are like the cool kids are using, right? Gen Z is programming in Go or Rust. And then boomers like me or not even boomers, I guess, like millennials, zennials, we do Python. Okay. So Rails, you had your time, Metasploit kept you alive, but go ahead and patch your Rails if you got it. If you don't, dude, it can lead to unauthenticated RCE if you have a upload capability in whatever your portal is that's using the Rails thing. Also, unfortunately, you may be using an application that depends on Rails and you don't know it. Is there a way to confirm? Like, I don't know if there's a way to like fingerprint a Rails based system. Yeah, it says the Rails team, the people who are responsible for Rails said they have no telemetry or estimate for how many apps use active storage with VIPs and accept untrusted image uploads. So a lot of things have to be in place for this exploit to even work in the first place. So you could be running a vulnerable version of Rails and it's not even possible to exploit it because you don't have that active storage capability enabled. But still, it doesn't say here how to verify whether you are running it or not. So I guess do the best you can, y'all.
Shiny Hunters comes calling for healthcare. Health Information Sharing and Analysis Center, also known as Health ISAC, warned that Shiny Hunters is increasingly targeting healthcare and medtech with a repeatable identity attack. Hackers pose as IT support, manipulate help desk or MFA resets, hijack Microsoft Entra, Okta, or Google SSO accounts, then pivot into cloud apps and steal data for extortion. The center recommends treating SSO as critical, using phishing-resistant MFA for high-risk users, tightening help desk checks, and monitoring new MFA registrations, suspicious OAuth grants, unusual API activity, and bulk downloads.
I love it. Michael Fink says C++ and my back hurts. Yeah. Michael Fink definitely takes ibuprofen as part of his lunch. All right. Health ISAC warns of rising Shiny Hunters data. Okay, guys. Healthcare, this, whatever. If you work in healthcare, my heart goes out to you. I will tell you guys, healthcare, I worked in healthcare for like 5 years. Best industry. If you really want to challenge, if you really want to develop, if you really want to like get like basically 300% job experience, meaning like for every 1 year you work, you get 3 years of practical experience, work in healthcare. It is a very special environment with really cool challenges. All right. Shiny Hunters, who is this threat actor that I think is going to get arrested in 2026. They are young, they are brash, they are very successful, and they've made a lot of money. They are targeting everybody, including healthcare, okay? Let's see. Shiny Hunters attack follow this regular kill chain. Sure, they do voice phishing to manipulate employees and help us to reset things. Of course. You can see here they have advanced techniques. They can control flow around like Microsoft 365 type technology. So they can send an email, like basically as they're talking to help desk, they can fire things off. I will say, if you work in healthcare, the Health ISAC, I was a member of the Health ISAC for a number of years. It's pretty good. Not all ISACs are created equal. ISACs are information sharing analysis centers, and they're basically like pre-vetted private communities of cybersecurity practitioners sharing knowledge and telemetry, and you can bounce questions off people and stuff like that. What do we need to do here? I'm at 9:03, so this is not good. Okay, over the next 30 to 60 days, healthcare orgs are urged to prioritize phishing-resistant MFA for high-risk users, strengthen help desk procedures, and enforce conditional access. Yes. You should have been doing that already. If that's not on your, short-term goals or roadmap, make it. Phish-resistant MFA, you absolutely should be doing that. All right, sorry for going long, everybody. I didn't plan on spilling coffee on myself. All right, guys. We had ourselves a day. Shout out to Dan Reardon, aka the Haircut Fish, for the meme of the week. Remember, in just a minute, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet will be doing Cyber Career Hotline. It's an AMA type show where you can ask him anything. Thank you, Sierra Montgomery's in the past, so we've got some extra time here. You can ask James anything. He'll answer your questions. I do want to remind everybody we're about to do a raffle. The Simply Cyber shop, brand new shop is out. We're doing a grand opening right now. Code SUMMER20 at checkout to get 20% off apparel, hats, and bags. SUMMER20, 20% off. Oh my God. What's up, Jesse? All right, let's do this raffle really quick. I've got everybody was entered. Dude, we only have 88 people entered. We had like over 350 people here, and no one, less than a fourth of you entered. All right. Let's do this. Enter with Team SC. Team SC is how you enter. If you joined us late, Adele Snow, I'll jump in and do the raffle in like 15, 20 minutes. So you guys get all. Team SC, Team SC. Okay, lots of people. Now it's at 95. All right, let me flip this over to James McQuiggan, and then we'll come back and do the raffle, all right? I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. By the way, I'm wearing one of the shirts. It's a great like athletic shirt. I love it. I don't typically wear white, but they sent it to me, so I'm all in on it. All right, guys. I'll leave you in the trusty hands of my good man, James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. I'll be back for the raffle in a little bit. Enjoy. See ya.
I'm James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. This is the Cyber Career Hotline. If you're building a career in cybersecurity, this show is for you. Let's get into it.
Hello there. And hello there, everybody. Good to see everyone here on this awesome Thursday, what's the date today? July 30th. Holy cow, we are at the end of the month. Got one more day to go. Got another day before I head off to Hacker Summer Camp. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the Simply Cyber's Career Hotline. My name is James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. And we're coming off the heels of that coffee spilling, crazy razzle, good old Dr. Jerry Auger. I know I am looking very forward to seeing him next week, getting caught up and getting to see Mrs. Auger as well. I don't know if I'm more excited to see Mrs. Auger than Mr. Auger. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I know she's going to be there. And I know I'm looking forward to seeing all of you that will be joining us next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday at the Simply Cyber meetup, along with Tyler Ransby and his folks. The cool thing is next week I'm going to do a shameless plug. Sorry, Jerry, but it's out. The megabyte of jokes that me and Michelle Kahn wrote. We are going to have copies of those with us next week. And then I'm bringing stickers. Yeah, I'm bringing, I got my one that's got a sticker with the Microsoft Edge on it. That's the why are Microsoft employees never relaxed? Because they're on edge. So there you go. Oh, wait. There you go. There it is. But I'm going to have like a variety of fun stickers with neat little characters with me. There we go. Now you can see it there. But I'm going to have stickers. I'm going to have copies of the book. So looking forward to seeing all of you folks out there. If you haven't, if you don't want to wait till next week, you can buy it on Amazon. It's out there. So, all right. So I'm excited to be here to answer any of your questions that you guys have got. With my 25 plus years of experience in industrial control systems, operation technology, programming, database administration, server administration. I did security awareness, which is where I discovered my passion for education and helping people understand this crazy world of cybersecurity that led to working at KnowBe4, teaching as a cyber threat intelligence professor at Full Sail University here in Central Florida. And now I have my own business. I call it Apparent Security. If you know, you know. And of course, every now and again, I'll drop in a dad joke or two. So Jesse Johnson, you're too kind, sir. Already throwing in there. Whoop, I clicked on the wrong one. Well, it went somewhere. Jesse Johnson saying it was an awesome. Oh, there it is. It is an awesome book. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. This is the first one I've ever written, or contributed to write with Michelle. But now that I've done one, it's like, I got an idea for a couple of others. So we'll see how it goes. So yeah, definitely drop those questions in in chat with a queue, and I would be more than happy to be able to answer those based off all of that. Let's see. I'm scrolling up. Yeah, summer's almost over. Yeah, I mean, my August is already booked solid with the trip to Hacker Summer Camp. I'm literally there for 10 days. I know, glutton for punishment. But between going to B-Sides Las Vegas, Black Hat, DEF CON, the Cognitive Security Conference being done by Matthew Canham, that's a deeper dive into security and how and why people think the way they think when it comes to cybersecurity, when it comes to these types of attacks. I'm excited for that one. I'm emceeing the Thursday conference day for that one, cognitive security conference. The other cool and exciting thing is the lineup of speakers: Dr. Jessica Barker, FC, Freaky Clown, Clifford Stoll, who I talked about before. He's the guy that wrote The Cuckoo's Egg. He's going to be there because he's also going to be at DEF CON presenting as well. So it's going to be very exciting. A very busy week. And then I get home, I'm home for a day, and then I take off to the UK. I'm going to a wedding over there, but then my talk got accepted at B-Sides Bristol. So I will be going to Bristol for the weekend to do a presentation. And then I come home and it's the last week of August. It's going to be crazy, crazy. So looking forward to that. All right, Spaghetti Boy 4150. Hey, how should I go about learning Python for SOC analysts? I did some courses in college for programming, but never really vibed with it. So you've done some courses, so you know about Python. One of the things for me, there's tons of YouTube videos out there relating to Python and to cybersecurity that can, kind of give you an idea. The other thing is for SOC analysts, think about what your tasks are. What could be automated? What are things in your role as a SOC analyst or any analyst in cybersecurity? And figure out, okay, any of this that I can automate or any of this that could be done programmatically, and leverage Python to program that to make your work a lot easier. You can also take the flip side to this. And it's funny you said really vibed with it, because you could vibe code within Claude, ChatGPT, and go through and give it the prompt, have it spit out the code. But here's where your experience comes in with knowing Python. You go through and you find all the mistakes that ChatGPT does or Claude. And you might be thinking it makes mistakes, because I know for me, I'm not a programmer. I had about this much 20 years ago. So I know that it's not a common thing that, it'd be easy that you'd be able to go through, figure out what the mistakes are. But because of your Python experience, you could go through, see where it makes mistakes, have it correct it, or you make the changes yourselves. And hello. Woo! We've got ourselves Simply Cyber saying he's been a member for 42 months. Wow. It's funny. There are people that have been members longer than Jerry has. Jerry being Simply Cyber. There are some folks that have been 46 months. I think we saw Dan, Haircut Fishes, Dan Reardon's thing at the beginning. He was 48 months or something like that, or 46. Mine's not showing up when I do it. Mine shows up at a different time in the month. So yeah. Cool. Glad to see that there, Jerry. Oh, here we go. Another good question. By the way, folks, Jerry's going to probably pop in his head here in a little bit for the raffle. So if you haven't put in your name and you want to get a free $100 gift for the Simply Cyber Shop, then if you do, put in Team SC. Just Team SC in chat. Jerry's going to pull all the names, and then we're going to do a raffle here in a little bit. So Adele Snow, if a hiring manager at an OT industry saw my mechanical engineering background on my CV, would he or she be more excited to interview me, or wouldn't it make that much of a difference? Really digging ICS. Yes, ICS is really, really cool. It's a different beast. Ironically, it's in there with healthcare. It's in there in the fact that it's all about availability. With healthcare, you've got to be able, Oh, Kimberly just flexed, basically dropped in 54 months. Oh, Kimberly can fix it. 54 months. I think she's got to be the OG of followers for Simply Cyber. But yeah, so having that, you've got your mechanical engineering, that's good. It's all going to depend what the requirements are for the particular position. But if you've got mechanical engineering and you've got cybersecurity, that makes it a lot easier for them, because then you understand the concepts of the product or what it is that you're protecting. And you can probably help as an electrical engineer working at that particular power plant. But it can't hurt. Definitely have it on there, because that's the thing about us in cybersecurity. We're extremely diverse. We never all follow the same path. Yeah, most of us may come through IT, but some of us come through the paths of theater. Hello. 6 years working professionally, doing all the backstage stuff. That was me. Coming out of theater, coming out of finance, coming out of chemistry, coming out of healthcare. Some folks were lawyers and doctors or paralegals. But yeah, so definitely be putting that on there. There's a lot of great resources that are out there for conferences. If you're going to be at DEF CON, Black Hat, or any of the B-sides, and they do an ICS village, definitely check that out. That's really cool. All right, let's continue to go through. Yep, we had Jerry's in there. Jerry just became a sponsor. Looking through, continuing to look through. Oh, there it is. There's Kimberly Can Fix It. 54 months, squad member. Kimberly Can Fix It. The OG Simply Cyber member. There you go. That's awesome. I don't think I've known Jerry 54 months. It'll be 4 years. Yeah, 2022 is when I met Jerry. I feel like I've known him for 10. Just been so involved in this community and supporting it. The inclusion that everybody, including everybody here, is so great, and working to empower everybody, lifting everybody up. This is what's great about this community. I love it. It's the highlight of my week next week of going to the Simply Cyber meetup, busting out the flag. I know Jerry's going to have his flag there, and getting everybody, getting their picture taken, getting an opportunity to network, meet folks. Like I said, I'll have stickers, so I'll be happy to give those out. Got a question. Michael Fink. I have my first interview for role on Monday coming from IT. I haven't interviewed in 7 years. I've been watching Jerry's videos to prep. Any other tips? You haven't interviewed for 7 years. Neither had I. I hadn't interviewed for a job in about 20. So I feel your pain. And Michael, one of the things that I did was I was using Claude. I was using a large language model, basically gave it the job description, gave it my resume, and then had it start asking me questions. And then I would provide back the response. And one of the things you can do, if you do the audio version where you speak to it, you can have it critique you there as well. Or you could record your response and then upload it and have it do it that way. Yeah, Jerry's got a bunch of videos. There's some good books from Packet out there regarding interviewing as well. For me, with the interviews, a lot of it comes down to that STAR that Bowtie Security Guy talks about that I like. It's a situation, a task, an action, and a result that you can give within 2 minutes of your response. The other tip I would give you is OSINT the organization. Do your open source intelligence. Do as much research as you can. The people that work there, so that when they have questions, they ask you, do you have any questions for us? You want to be able to have questions for them. What does success look like in this role 90 days out? And of course, it all depends who you're interviewing with. If you're interviewing an HR person, may not be as good as interviewing with the actual hiring manager. But how does success look for this role? What's the roadmap for this role within the organization? I really like the culture. That's something I ask HR is, what's the culture like within the organization? Try to get a perspective of how folks work and everything else. So Yep, that would be my tip as well. Somebody else coming in, FedEx coming in with his 27 months squad member. Cool. Just a little over 2 years there, FedEx. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see what we got other questions. Oh, Cyberlion 8 goes, I've got a background in education, bachelor's in music ed, and finishing a master's in aviation cybersecurity at Embry-Riddle. Brilliant. That's awesome. Way to go. Other than Sec Plus, any good next steps to explore? Security Plus, the ISC2CC, maybe start looking, and depending on where you want to go within cybersecurity. So it's certainly aviation in that area, that space, that is critical as well. Because again, you're dealing with availability, you're dealing with airplanes that are flying computers with big giant engines. Your CISSP eventually maybe looking at ISACA. It all depends where specifically you want to focus on in cybersecurity. So if you figure that out, then that'll help you with figuring out which kind of other certs that you might need overall. But going into aviation, especially with cybersecurity, it's interesting because you think about it, because you've got the control systems on the planes, you've got Wi-Fi on the planes that connect through, most likely through Starlink or through some other Telesat satellite type internet. So you're having to secure those. Plus, you're securing ICS systems, OT systems of airplanes. Plus, you've got the on the ground systems for the organization that have to be secured as well. So, that aviation, cybersecurity, good field. Good luck with that as well. Oh, Q and for that. Yeah. All right. Carrying through here. Let's see. Pocket Pixels, what path do I need to take to become a software cybersecurity engineer, and how long will it take? Well, I'm going to answer the second part first. And how long will it take? It depends. Get a swig of my coffee here. I'm making sure not to spill it. And it's funny because I've done that. I did it with a bottle of water. And it happened here on my studio desk, and I went to reach for the bottle of water, the flask of water that I had, and it knocked over and it fell on the ground, and right below me, or it knocked over, and the water spilt down onto a laptop and onto my UPS that's below the desk. Immediately shut everything down, opened up the UPS, let it all dried out. But yeah, I feel Jerry's pain, the what he went through this morning. But I got to admit, at least I wasn't live on air when that actually happened. So I got my swig of coffee with, yes, it's a Yeti cup, and yes, I got a lid on it and everything else. So yeah, we love Jerry. All right. So what's your path to become a software cybersecurity engineer? Depending on where it is that you're wanting to, if you're looking at doing development, so you're doing security operations, DevSecOps, development of security operations. There are, you can look down the certification path. You certainly want to be looking at understanding all the different concepts, security concepts, and being able to apply those in the different programming languages, whether it's Rust, whether it's Go, whether it's Python being the most common one overall. But how long it takes is up to you, how long you put the effort into it, and how long, somebody wants to get you hired. And again, a lot of the time that we see to get hired, it's going to come through your networking. Oh, it's interesting. Somebody just threw the Kyle. I'm surprised James didn't use a deepfake hiring manager to practice for interviews. You can actually, Kyle, they do have it out there where you can interview. You can set up a voice agent. There are, I believe, Lemon Sliced is one that does it. And I think there's another one that's out there as well. But you can create an agent as an HR agent, feed it the information, and it'll work with you. It's interesting you saying deep fakes because Jerry had that picture, and Haircut Fish's meme of the week picture. It had Jerry with his red card from his webinar yesterday with Flair, and you saw Daniel Lowry and Haircut Fish was there, and a couple other awesome folks from the community, but you'll notice that two people were missing. You will notice that I wasn't in that picture, and neither was Kathy Chambers. There's a really good reason for that, and it has nothing to do with Dan. The reason Kathy Chambers and I weren't in there is because the exact same time, Kathy Chambers and I were doing a panel webinar about deepfakes for Agent Bounty. That would have been set like a month ago, and I was on there with Perry Carpenter, myself, Bronwyn, and Carrie Tomlinson. A lot of those folks, Perry and Carrie, I've known for a number of years. Excited to have them. And we had a great 1-hour discussion on deepfakes. I know FedEx was there. So it was kind of a bummer that it was at the same time that Jerry had his, but it is what it is. It's kind of how it goes. You go to conferences and there's like 2 or 3 people of presentations that you want to see at the same time, and you just got to pick which one you go to. That's always a challenge as well. All right. Whenever you're ready, Jerry, come on back and we can do the raffle if you want. Oh, he threw it up there.
All right. What's up, everybody? We are going to do the raffle right now. This is for $100 gift card to the new Simply Cyber merch store. You can go to shop.simplycyber.io and check it out if you'd like to check it out. Good luck to everybody. We're doing it all week this week. There's 20% off through August 9th. So if you don't win today, come back tomorrow for the final $100 gift card. We've had some regular winners every day. All right, here we go, everybody. You ready, James?
All right. Yeah, I like how you got your logo in there now.
Yep.
Got fancy.
Here we go.
Here we go. Round and round we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Word to lock 1147. Word to lock. Lock 1147.
Gotta be here to win it. Gotta be here to.
You do have to be here to win it. So I'm gonna just dip while James answers another question. Actually, you know what? I'll take my computer off screen, but I'll stay here for a minute while James answers. And if we don't hear from Word to lock 1147 in the next 2 minutes, we'll spin another one.
Yep, that sounds good. Cool.
I'll just hang out down here quietly.
You'll hang out in the background. Okay. Let me. There we go. Kick this back up. Let's go back through, and I got to go back up to where I was with my questions here. Yeah, I like Jerry's got the cool little logo in there, and yeah, just making all fancy. I will admit, I've dropped my own $100 and spent in the gift shop. I got myself 2 pairs of those socks. I love a good pair of socks. And so I've got mine ordered, and I think I got one of the cool hats. I got a t-shirt. So that's supposed to be arriving. I just realized it's probably not going to arrive tomorrow. If it gets here Saturday before lunch, then maybe I'll have it with me for next week. If not, I'll be bringing my other Simply Cyber merch with me. Let's see. Harsh Patel going, just found this channel, currently doing a cloud security project in AWS security groups and AZ NSGs. What are some must-haves for an intern trying to get ahead in the field? Must-haves. As an intern, it's interesting because we're always wanting to, give as much effort as we can and get forward and everything else. There's a couple things you could be doing. One is networking and conversing with the people that you're working with. Hopefully, if you're doing this in person, it makes it easier, but even remote, find out from, the people that are in the roles that you want to have. Find out what it was that they got there. What did they have to learn? What did they have to do? Have those conversations. That's the human aspect. From the technology aspect, or even the process aspect, we're certainly looking at how can I improve in this role? What are things that are missing? Look around and see what could be improved upon, and then put forth that effort to either create a script or write a program or write up the process overall to make that job more efficient, to make you more efficient, make the job more proficient overall. But certainly look around, see where you can make improvements, kind of try to do it on your own as long as it doesn't impact others. Network with other people. That would be kind of what I'd be looking at doing overall, because that's going to be That'll help you stand out because you'll get to know more of the folks. And if you're kind of taking initiative and doing more, they like that as well too. All right. Sierra Montgomery's got a question. I always love Sierra Montgomery's questions. Very thought provoking and forward thinking. So, looking at your upcoming keynotes on AI, human risk, and cybersecurity careers, what is the one takeaway you hope every practitioner walks away with, and how can they put it into practice immediately? Well, the one thing I hope everybody walks away with is a new dad joke, because I drop enough of them in the presentations. But honestly, I think a lot of it comes down to, depending on whatever the CTA is. I usually will have call to action, CTAs, in the presentations. There will be something I want you to have. If we're talking about AI, I'm usually doing the dark side of AI, deep fakes, taking that extra time with regards to the disinformation, misinformation campaigns that are going on, that are how easy it is to create, and just have that elevated awareness. With regards to cybersecurity careers, there's going to be takeaways, there's going to be tips, and hopefully, especially when it comes to being able to apply cybersecurity concepts to your own career, dealing with incident response, business continuity, those kind of things, being able to not only apply that in your work environment, but also in your personal life as well. ABL, always be looking, always be thinking ahead as well. So awesome question. Thank you, Sierra. I would like to get into SCADA systems and IoT for railroad. Very cool. Any ideas, insights? Also, how to learn SCADA systems in general so I can become the SME. Becoming an SME, subject matter expert, we're talking 10,000 hours worth of effort, and that's fine. Railroad, again, with IoT, like power plants, like aviation, you're dealing with a very isolated environment. A lot of trains are going to be dealing with PLCs, programmable logic controllers, a lot of things that we find in ICS environments. For me, what I would be doing is go on eBay. It's going to sound kind of weird. Go on eBay and see if you can find what hardware they're using out on these trains, like a PLC. You can buy a PLC for like $100. And if that's out your budget, that's I can respect that as well. But if you can get your hands on some of the hardware, even the older hardware, to play around with and become familiar with, figure out how to protect them, defend them, and then attack them. Because you also have to be able to understand how cyber criminals attack, so you know how to defend. So there are several railway companies that are out there that I know are very good when it comes to cybersecurity. I've presented to them over the years, but definitely, you're getting very specific. If things work out with the railway and you can get into a railway company doing cybersecurity for them, awesome. If not, also know that you can branch to other environments where dealing with ICS, IoT, like aviation, power plants, water treatment, and so forth. So good luck with that. Cool. Did we hear from our, you can drop it in chat if you need to, Jer. Curious if we heard from our winner here today and whether or not Jerry's going to be coming back. Let's see, scrolling through the, Chris Young. All right, buddy, checks in the mail. If you get a chance, catch the James McQuiggan in a cybersecurity presentation. Do yourself a solid and make it. It's interesting you put the in quotations there for the James McQuiggan, because there are multiple James McQuiggans in the world, believe it or not. One of them I'm going to see in a couple of weeks, because I have a cousin. His name's James McQuiggan as well. He's based out of Scotland. I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks at that wedding that I'm going to. So, all right. Not seeing anything from Jerry, so I'm guessing we heard from our Jerry dropped off. So I'm guessing we did hear from Wordalock. I'm looking through the chat here now. How are we doing? Oh, look at that. It's 9:35. Whoops. Time flies when you're having fun, everybody. And I noticed Jerry doesn't have a fireside chat on today. But definitely be checking out the Simply Cyber store. A lot of great merch there, help promote the organization. But I didn't see Jerry's got a fireside chat. But, he's always got plenty of videos that are out there. Definitely on, entry-level roles, looking at how to do interviews, how to build your own lab and everything else. So all kinds of different categories. If you haven't been seeing his, you can go check them out. Oh, look at that. I've got the megabyte of jokes there for $10.24 on Amazon. If you know, you know. But yeah, definitely be checking out the videos. It has been a lot of fun having you all here today, going through answering your questions. It's going to be a busy week next week. If we didn't get to your questions today, bring them back tomorrow, because tomorrow there'll be a panel of us, and we always have a great time with the panel. Hopefully, I will be there tomorrow. And in the meantime, hope you all have a awesome Thursday. Have yourself a great Friday, and thanks for stopping by. We'll see y'all later.